Welcome children. Welcome to the online class of history. Class 7. We are going to do our next lesson, that is the Turkish invasion and the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. So children, let's see what is the Turkish invasion and the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. Lesson 4, Introduction. We read in the previous chapter that Abidas dynasty ended due to the attack of the Mongols. So in a previous lesson we have seen that the Mongol dynasty has attacked. Genghis Khan in AD 1206 established the Mongol Empire. He brought together the nomadic tribes, nomadic means wandering tribes, and created a unified Mongol. So children, who was the person who gathered the Mongol tribe? Genghis Khan. Mongolia was home to another nomadic community, the Turks. Again, children, the Mongols had another community called the Turks. They served in the Persian army and gradually became the head of the army in a large area around Ghazni. So they settled where? In Ghazni. Who? The Turks. His son Mahmud, AD 998 1030, finally established the Ghazni Empire in Central Asia. Who had the empire? Ghazni. Another important state was Ghor, established by Ghiyas-ud-Din Ghori. So, who was the next person after Mahmud? There was Ghiyas-ud-Din Ghori. Let's read about Muhammad Ghazni. Who was he? Mahmud was an ambitious ruler who wanted to extend his territory and spread Islam. So when he had come till near the Central Asia, he wanted to extend his territory. What is territory? Expansion of his kingdom and spread Islam. And why he wanted to expand his kingdom? To spread his religion, Islam. He had a powerful army. The huge wealth of North India attracted him greatly. When he had entered in India, he was attracted by what in India? The great wealth. He raided India 70 times and in the course of over 25 years between AD 1001 to 1027. He attacked Kabul. How many times he attacked India? 70 times. And he attacked Kabul, Delhi, Kannauj, Punjab, Kangra, Thanishwar, Malwa and Mathura. His intention was not to rule but plunder. Children, he was not a person who wanted to rule India. He just came here to plunder India. What is the meaning of plunder? Plunder means to loot. When you want to take away or grab something from a person, that is called loot. His intentions were to loot India. During his raids and strike, he looted and carried the riches back with him. It was these incursions that laid the foundation for later Muslim invasion into India. Seeing this, other people also attacked India. Seeing the situation that India is a very soft and nice place where anybody can walk in, and he was the one who opened the doors for other invaders to invade India. He defeated the ruler of Punjab, King Jaipal, and then his son Anandpal and annexed Punjab. Annex means attack Punjab to his empire. Emboldened by his success, he started raiding the temple towns of North India to plunder the wealth and carry it back with him to Ghazni. So he was coming towards the northern part of India, and he was taking away all the wealth of the temples of India, and it took all the wealth back with him to Ghazni. The place where he was coming was Ghazni, and he took all India's wealth back to Ghazni. His last invasion was in AD 27. The last time he came to India to plunder it was 1027. When he invaded the Somnath temple in Gujarat, the brave Indian soldier fought valiantly but could not save the temple from the army of Muhammad Ghazni. So, children, this person again came to Somnath temple to grab it, but our Indian soldier fought very bravely, and they did not want him to take the wealth of India. But later on, India got defeated and he took away the wealth from there also. After 3 days, the Turks entered the temple and looted all the treasures of the most sacred and the richest temple of the Hindus. Not only this Mongolian Ghazni took away, the Turks also entered India and took away all the things from this temple, the treasure. It was one of the most richest temple of Hindus. Somnath temple is in Gujarat. He used the wealth from India to decorate palace, mosque and tombs. From this wealth, he wanted to make his place beautiful by decorating his palace, by putting it on the tombs and on mosques. He patronized Iranian culture. The famous poet Firdausi was a part of Mahmud's court. Now the poet was Firdausi, who was of Mahmud Ghazni's court. He wrote Shahnama, the biography of Muhammad Ghazni. Muhammad Ghazni died in AD 1030. He was the person, Firdausi, who wrote about the biography in Shahnama about Muhammad Ghazni, what type of a ruler he was, what he did. He plundered, he looted, he came to Ghazni, he again came back to India, again looted India, Somnath temple and went back. But when he died, it was 1030 AD. These invasions not only plundered the enormous wealth of India but also destroyed the valuable arts. Not only he took away the things, but he destroyed the beautiful places of India. They exposed the weakness of the ruler and thus began political instability in India. These conquests paved the way for further Muslim invasion in India. He was the first Muslim to invade India, and through him other Muslims also made their way to India. Next is Muhammad Ghori. The ruler who laid the foundation of Muslim rule in the Indian subcontinent was Muhammad Ghori. After Muhammad Ghazni came Muhammad Ghori. He was born in AD 1149. The name Muazzuddin Muhammad, his father was the local ruler of Ghor. His father's name was Muazzuddin Mahmud, and his father was a local ruler of Ghor. After his death, the eldest son Ghiyasuddin ascended the throne. He was held by his brother. In AD 173, Muhammad Ghori conquered Ghazni and became its ruler. Who took away Ghazni? Muhammad Ghori. After Muhammad Ghazni, who took away? Muhammad Ghori. He ended the Ghaznavi Empire and set the era of Ghori Empire. Ghazni Empire ended, Ghori Empire started. He started his conquest by surrounding territories such as Multan, Peshawar and Sialkot. In the Indian context, the most important battles were the first Battle of Tarain. In AD 1191, he captured Punjab and was met by Prithvi Raj Chauhan. The first Battle of Tarain was fought by Prithvi Raj Chauhan, the Rajput king and his allies. Who was Prithvi Raj Chauhan? He was the Rajput king and he was the allies. They managed to restrict Ghori in Tehran and defeated him. And they were the ones, the Rajput kings were the ones who attacked Ghori and defeated him. He was humiliated and came back to avenge the defeat the following year. Muhammad Ghori got so annoyed that he wanted to take revenge, and again he came back to India to attack the following year. Again, the second battle of Tarim in AD 109, 1192, Ghori captured Bhatinda and reached Tarim to fight a decisive battle with Prithviraj Chauhan. The Rajput king failed to get the support of other Rajput rulers, and so he was defeated. He was captured and killed, thus ending the Rajput rule in North India. So Prithviraj fought a very good battle with Muhammad Ghori, and he failed to support Rajput ruler and he was defeated. He was captured and killed, thus ending the Rajput rule. Prithviraj was killed in this. The subsequent means successive attempt to stop Muhammad Ghori from advancing by another Hindu king were all in vain. This historical war was the beginning of the Muslim rule in India. Muslim rules occupied the throne of Delhi from AD 1190 to AD till 1858 until the last Mughal ruler lost to the Britisher. So, who ended the Muslim rule? The Britisher in 1858. Ghori did not have any sons, and so he appointed his Turkish slaves as his viceroys and left the affairs of the territory in their hands. So, viceroys are ruler exercising authority. Viceroys are person, the king who gave authority to his subordinates. And Ghori did not have any sons, he did not have any children, and he gave it to his subordinates. And his slave Qutbuddin Abbaq, his slave was appointed viceroy of India territories. Muhammad bin Bakhtiar Khilji, another slave in his empire, became the viceroy of Bengal. In India, two slaves of Muhammad Ghori became the viceroy, one of Bengal and one of North India. And his empire became the viceroy of Bengal and adjoining territories. Ghori died in AD 1200 and 1206 on his way back to Afghanistan. While he was returning back to his country, on his way back to Afghanistan, he died. His viceroy became the ruler of their respective territory. Qutbuddin Abbaq and Bakhtiar Khalji became the viceroy in India. Delhi Sultanate. The period between the 13th and the 16th century is called the Delhi Sultanate, as the rulers were called sultans who ruled India from Delhi. The important rulers of the Delhi Sultanate were Qutbuddin Abbaq. So children, till here we will read. For the next part, we will meet in the next session. So let's see a recap what happened in the Turkish invasion and the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. Muhammad Ghazni, he came to India with a very powerful army. He had huge wealth from North India and he raided India. He did not came to rule India, but he came to raid India. And how many times? 17 times. He plundered, he looted all the northern parts of the Indian continent, and he defeated the ruler of Punjab, Jaipal. He raided temples, Somnath temple, towns of North India. His last invasion was AD 127, and in 130 AD he died. And this was in his book Shahnama, written by Firdausi. And we have gone through Muhammad Ghori. He was after Muhammad Ghaznavi, Muhammad Ghori took over. So children, we have seen how Muhammad Ghori also came to an end after invading India. Two of his slaves became the successor, they became the Viceroy of India, and we will read in the coming session about Kutubuddin Aibak. So children, till here we will conclude our session. Thank you children. We will meet in the next session. Bye.